Wow, that's loud. Time to install the horn. I believe I got these off Amazon. They weren't very expensive. I'll see if I can find the purchase and drop it in. They are loud. I think they were 110, 118 decibels, if I remember right. I tested them. Whew, they're loud. Also have a lighted rocker switch. Say that 10 times fast. I'll talk more in depth about how to wire these correctly so the lights work the way you want them to work. Also, it has a 40 amp relay, and then it comes with a 15 amp fuse as well, just to protect the wires. So here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to mount these horns, one on each side, right here to the hydraulic radiator. There's a couple of holes, one on each side. So we'll set those down here. So I've got quite a bit of wire here, which I'll just kind of spool up and zip tie. The 40 amp relay, I'll go ahead and same thing. I'm going to mount it somewhere up front here. So I'll have my power, positive, negative, the 40 amp relay up here. The horns will be up here. Now I got to get back to the switch. I've got this plug that I've got to fit through this little hole. I'm going to show, once I'm done with the install, I'll show a close-up of all this with another camera so you can see better. What that means, though, in order for me to get this plug through, is this cable here, which runs back to my MC2120, the actuator on it. That one's easy. I can just unplug this. This will come out. But the two grounds, the block ground and the frame ground, one's here, one's here. I'm going to have to remove those, pull them back through, and then I'll be able to feed this little plug right on through here. Then I'm going to feed it along here. We'll zip tie it to this other wire here. We'll bring it up. Any slack that I have, I'm going to just wind it in here. And then there's a hole right here, a perfect little square hole. Now we'll tuck this guy right up through here. And then my switch will go over on the other side. All right, this is how I'm picking up the accessory light for my switch. So this, as we look in the fuse panel, the top right fuse I've pulled out and put it at a fuse. You can just get these at the auto parts store. And as we look at this, we have two fuses. A 10 amp, that was the fuse that came from here. And the 5 amp is for the add a fuse. So that's for the new switch. All I'm really doing is picking up the light for the switch itself, for the accessory light. So 5 amps should be plenty. And then we just pop this little guy in here, right there. And of course, now we're running over to the switch. I'm going to run it to this knockout, which was the independent hydraulic deck lift for the mower deck, which I don't have. Mine runs off my 3-point system. So this is where I'm going to put the horn switch. Okay, so again, this is accessory coming in. Cable system I bought for the horn, which has the relay. The white is going to this red here, the black to the black, and looks like we have power. So I wired my switch to the accessory. There are two lights on the switch, a small one and a large one, so that by wiring it this way, the small light will come on when the tractor is on. And then when you press the button, the larger light comes on. When the key's off, no lights are on, thus not drawing any battery power. Starting at the front, here's where I tied in the positive right here. Of course, the negative under my new little shut-off switch here. Of course, this works good. And then I kind of just bound up, zip tied some extra wire that's down in here. Just got it out of the way. Of course, I'm running up to the back of this horn. In the back of this horn, I've tilted the horns in just slightly to keep them away from the side. And if I have to, I've got a little more room on the inside if I have to tilt them in. I bolted my relay right here, so it's secure. I haven't really blocked the radiator that much. I think it'll be okay. My new horn cable comes right through here. As a reminder, I had to pull this 15mm bolt as well as this 13mm bolt, pull both those grounds back through. Then I was able to feed them all back through that provided a hole without any problem at all. It comes along here. I zip tied it to this other wire, brought it up here. So I had just a little bit of slack here. That was the plug I had to pull through. Came up right through this perfect little square hole and then over to the other side where the switch is. Now over here, here's my switch. I'll wire it up. Let's go ahead and see if I can pop it into place. Oh, that's snapped in. That's snapped in nicely. Okay, let's go turn this on. Ah. Oh, it scared me for a second there because there's no power, but duh, the reason why is because my key is not on. Because, by the way, the reason why I tied into the brake light is that you have to turn the key on before I can hit the brake pedal, right? And we get brake lights. So that is the accessory. Look at that. I got a light on my horn and it should work just fine. Yep. Works great.